The enigma of repressed emotions. When the body speaks for the mind. We often underestimate how challenging it is to recognize our true feelings. We create comforting stories, small daily narratives that make us feel safe. Yet, beneath this calm and carefully crafted surface, intense and unheard emotions often linger. Our mind, an intricate labyrinth full of contradictions, acts as a sophisticated defense system. It carefully selects what we can handle, discarding everything else like an archivist locking away fragile documents in hidden drawers. But what happens to the emotions left behind? Where does the anger we cannot admit, the sadness we prefer to ignore, the frustration we fail to manage, and the fear that paralyzes us go? These emotions don't just disappear into thin air. Instead, they become trapped in a silent limbo, suspended like dust particles collecting under an untouched rug. And when the weight becomes unbearable, the body steps in as their spokesperson. A persistent backache, a sudden stomach cramp without any apparent reason, or an irregular heartbeat that startles us in the middle of the night. Each of these could be the voice of a forgotten emotion. This isn't about generic stress or simple fatigue. These are clear, deliberate messages our body is desperately trying to communicate. Every organ, every muscle, and every fiber of our being seems to have its own secret language, a code we must learn to interpret. While our mind may have ignored these emotions for months or even years, the body never forgets. It holds a memory of its own, like an invisible journal recording every suppressed emotion. Within its pages, we find entries written in pain, tension, and chronic fatigue. Each symptom is like a sealed letter addressed directly to our attention, a plea waiting to be read and understood. Ignoring these signals allows the problem to dig deeper roots, letting emotions crystallize into tissues, bones, and heartbeats. But if we learn to listen, if we take the time to pause and ask our bodies the right questions, we can start to decipher these hidden messages. Each symptom stops being merely an annoyance and becomes a valuable clue, a step toward understanding ourselves more deeply. Modern culture often insists on separating the body from the mind, treating them as two independent entities operating on parallel tracks. Traditional medicine, with its mechanical approach, focuses primarily on physical symptoms, attempting to treat them like malfunctions in a machine. While this approach has undeniable value, it overlooks a fundamental truth. The body and mind are deeply interconnected, and many physical ailments are tangible manifestations of unresolved emotional conflicts. Every symptom is like an incomplete sentence, a call for attention from a hidden corner of our consciousness. Imagine someone who has carried anger for years without expressing it. That unspoken energy might manifest as chronic shoulder pain, a weight that feels impossible to lift. Or consider someone who has suppressed sadness, hiding it behind a polite smile. That silent grief might crystallize into a tight knot in the chest, a pressure that limits every breath. Unexplained fatigue, recurring headaches, and chronic muscle tension might simply be echoes of emotions left unresolved. This mind-body connection is not just an abstract theory, it's a proven reality. Numerous studies and countless personal testimonies confirm that people often experience significant physical relief after addressing their deepest emotional wounds. When an emotional knot is untangled, the body too can finally relax. This isn't magic, it's a natural rebalancing between our internal and external worlds. Furthermore, this dynamic doesn't apply only to negative emotions like anger or sadness. Fear, insecurity, and persistent guilt can also manifest as physical symptoms. Chronic anxiety might reveal itself in a tight jaw or persistent digestive issues. Every symptom has a story to tell, a narrative we often shy away from because we fear what we might uncover. Understanding this connection requires conscious effort. Treating physical symptoms with medication or superficial therapies can offer temporary relief, but it rarely addresses the root cause. We must dig deeper, paying attention to the subtle and not so subtle messages our bodies are trying to convey. In this sense, the body becomes an invaluable guide, a map leading us to a more authentic understanding of ourselves. Addressing emotions doesn't mean erasing them. It means integrating them into our lives and giving them a safe space to exist without shame. Recognizing and embracing these signals might seem like an intimidating journey, but it is also profoundly liberating. The body, freed from the weight of unspoken words and hidden emotions, can finally return to its natural balance. When the body and mind work together in harmony, the resulting well-being extends beyond physical health to encompass emotional and even spiritual peace. But how do we begin to decipher these messages? One helpful practice is to dedicate time to inner listening. In a quiet moment, close your eyes and focus on a part of your body where you feel discomfort. Ask yourself, if this part of me could speak, what would it say? Perhaps your heart is asking for forgiveness. Maybe your stomach is pleading for fewer burdens and responsibilities. The answers might not come immediately, but with patience and practice, the mind begins to cooperate. We start to recognize these signals before they become unbearable. This awareness doesn't magically solve all problems, but it equips us to face them with clarity and courage. This journey toward self-awareness is deeply personal and often challenging. It demands honesty, patience, and the courage to face ourselves without fear. Yet, the rewards are immeasurable: a healthier body, a lighter mind, and a more authentic life. In the end, the body and mind are not separate realms, but two sides of the same coin, an interconnected system longing to be heard and understood. Every symptom carries a message, and learning to read it may be one of the greatest gifts we can offer ourselves. I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any content, and thanks for watching this video.